Welcome back, everyone. WrestleMania is this upcoming weekend. We're excited. And with me, my former colleague from Top of the Line, Rocco Coppola. Rocco, how you doing?
Living the dream like always. And ladies and gentlemen, I know you didn't expect me to come back here, but this week, it's a special week. It's WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. So we got a lot of things to discuss, don't we?
Yeah, purely WrestleMania this episode. No AEW, no TNA. We're focusing on the biggest wrestling show of the year. So without further ado, let's get ready to rumble.
Watch me sing. You spin me around so I can breathe. It's only safe for you and me. I know you won't let me OD. And if I finally die in peace, just wrap my body in these sheets and pour out the gasoline. It don't mean much to me.
So, Rocco, to start WrestleMania, everyone's been saying there's a bit of a mystery open slot there. And some people are saying MJF. I don't want to be delusional. I don't want to get my heart broken. So I'm just going to say it's going to be Sylvester Stallone, the actor of Rocky Balboa, welcoming us to WrestleMania, welcoming us to the state in which he wrote his story. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you have a great case to make for that one. I think MJF's also a possibility. You look at now, they've dropped some subtle hints on Monday Night Raw recently. I know they're not big hints, but they're subtle hints. A lot of people in WWE still don't know who MJF is, as big of a star that he is. You look at Cody Rhodes getting whipped by the Rock's belt, which we'll probably touch on later on at some point. You also drop Cody Rhodes dropping Salt of the Earth, MJF's signature move. But, like you, I don't want to get my hopes up just yet. I pray, and ladies and gentlemen, I pray MJF is in WWE. But for not, I will stick to Sylvester Stallone being the opening segment. I think he'll come out to his Rocky Balboa music. I think, why not? Because it's Philly. But, yeah, I think it's a perfect opportunity for a great segment, MJF or Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, we'll discuss later what MJF would be doing if he debuted in WWE, which I doubt, but still, it's going to be fun to see what that open segment provides.
There's going to be some anticipation.
Yeah, definitely.
Extra hype.
Yeah, I think people are going to be definitely waiting to see what happens during that segment. There's going to be everyone in their seats at WrestleMania seeing what happens there. But next up on our board, we got the tag team title 6-way ladder match between the Judgment Day, Theory and Waller, British Strong Style or New Catch Republic, whatever you want to call them, Awesome Truth, DIY, and The New Day. Honestly, I don't think the Judgment Day keeps their titles here. I think WrestleMania is honestly the fall of the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
So honestly, if I had to pick any of these 6 teams to win this, I think I'd have to pick DIY. I think they've been built up. I think they have the best case. It could also be Awesome Truth, who's been, mixed in with the Judgment Day a lot because of R-Truth. But I have DIY. I have the better tag team coming out of it.
I mean, yeah, DIY has been fantastic. I'd love to see them win. I'm going to stick with the Awesome Truth to win this tag team match. Now, I've been hearing the rumors the Hardy Boys can make an appearance.
I mean, they could because Matt's was at Raw. Their AEW contracts expires, and they're not happy with AEW. And Jeff Hardy's band is also going to be in Philly on April 4th.
Is it, expired, or is it expiring?
It's about to expire.
Okay, so as long as Tony Khan doesn't throw a fit, I'm sure they'll probably, pop up, but You never know. But yeah, Awesome Truth I think is going to end up winning this. I love R-Truth. I love The Miz, 2 future Hall of Famers, and yes, I said 2 future Hall of Famers. R-Truth, he deserves it, man. I know he's a character. He's a comedy gimmick. He's a role player at this point, but I would love to see him win a title. I think he's done so well in the WWE. He's entertained the fans for years. He deserves it.
Yeah, I think The Miz and R-Truth are definitely both due for a title. But I just think DIY, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, the men that made NXT, I think they finally deserve the WrestleMania moment after 10 years.
Johnny Wrestling and Tommaso Ciampa definitely deserve some main roster success. And, I know Tommaso Ciampa, I believe, had a run with the U.S. title at one point. It was no, not a lot of people remember it, but I think it was very brief. Yeah. Although, I can't be 100% sure because he hasn't done much on the main roster since. Thankfully, he who shall not be named is not with the company anymore, if you know what I mean. Yeah. If you know what I mean. But yeah, Awesome Truth, my pick to win.
I respect that. And moving on to our mid-card title matches at WrestleMania, we have, I believe, a triple threat for the U.S. title between Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul. And then for the IC title, we have Gunther versus Sami Zayn. And Chad Gable's kind of been in the background for that, but I don't know what they're going to do with him at WrestleMania. They have him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yeah,
so.
Chad Gable's is not going to have a match, and I know it's going to hurt a lot of people. I know a lot of people wanted Chad Gable. I wasn't exactly on board with it, even though I know Chad Gable's a talented wrestler. I just can't see him being a champion at any point unless he gets out of the Alpha Academy. So with that being said, I am going to take Gunther to retain the title. Or actually, maybe Sammy could win. I know the rumors saying that Gunther's not going to be in Bash in Berlin because of I believe some passport travel issues outside of the country. But I think Gunther is going to end up winning, and just to be safe, because he is the safer pick. And for the triple threat match for the United States title, I'm going to stick with Logan Paul to win because Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are going to beef with each other, and that's going to cost them in the end.
So for the IC title, I agree with you. I'm taking Gunther, and I actually think he skipped out on Perth because he doesn't get his passport rights back until before Bash in Berlin. So I think he's going to be there.
I mean, if it's Bash in Berlin, Gunther, his entrance would be amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know how much they love Imperium over in Germany?
Yeah, all of Imperium they love.
Ludwig Kaiser could finally get over with the crowd.
Yeah, that'd be something. But, yeah, I think Gunther's the safe pick there. Like you said, I think they're going to give Sammy a good run in the match as the underdog. But I think Gunther wins. I think he's taking down all of Sammy's confidence. But for the U.S. title match, I have Kevin Owens pinning Logan Paul, and then I have Randy Orton turning heel and RKOing both of them. So they can kind of build him up for his match against Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. That is, eventually going to happen for that Universal title. But, yeah, I have Kevin Owens winning that match.
Yeah, I think there's some great matches so far, even if they're mid-card. We got one that came really out of nowhere, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say so. We had Ray and apparently the newest member of the LWO, Dragon Lee, against Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar, which, obviously they had to put Santos and Ray somehow against each other in the card. I didn't expect Dominic to be in it, though, and I especially didn't expect Dragon Lee. And I think Dragon Lee could be a catalyst for Carlito to turn heel, someone else to turn heel on Rey Mysterio.
Oh, not again. Not again.
And
no
I
way.
think this is perfect for Carlito to turn heel. His character hasn't been interesting since he returned.
It's the theme song, I'm telling you.
The biggest pop he got was at Fastlane when he returned. And they really have done nothing with him besides singles matches, setting up
Was it WrestleMania
PLEs.
Backlash?
Yeah, but that was before his actual return to the company and his deal. But I think this could be good for him. I think this could help his character a lot, give him a feud against Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I think it makes sense, even though I feel like that might be played out a little bit story-wise. But I think, Dominic Mysterio being a part of this is just kind of, random, you know what I'm saying? I'm not against it because Dominic Mysterio is really good, and he's talented in the ring, talented on the mic, even though he can't even talk on the mic. But you guys know what I'm saying. It's difficult to predict because Dragon Lee, this could be a way to get him over with the fans, expose him, because he's competing at WrestleMania. Santos Escobar is also competing in his first WrestleMania, I believe.
Yeah, he is.
So I'm going to take Dominic to get a win with Santos Escobar in this matchup. Imagine if Dominic pins Ray, the amount of boos he'll get in the stadium.
Yeah, that'd be...
They might try to do that. But it's a tough match to predict because both guys kind of need the win. None of them will get buried if they win, but they need a momentum booster. I know Dragon Lee just kind of guy here, but I'm going to go with Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio to win.
I'm going to agree with you there. And, the thing with Dominic is whenever he doesn't have a plan for WrestleMania, you can always interlink him with his father. He'll get a guaranteed match. But
it's easy.
It's pretty easy for them. But, yeah, I'd go with Dom and Santos to win that pretty easily. And it's going to be a good match. It's going to be a way to get Dragon over. It's going to be his first match on the main roster in a month or so, I think. But, yeah, no, I'm going to take Dom and Santos to win that one. But moving on here to our women's world title matches, we have Bayley versus Io and Becky versus Rhea. Honestly, I think both these matches have been built up very well. I think Bayley and Io the better build-up. I think that's going to be the better match generally. And I'm going to take Bayley to win that one. And I'm going to take Rhea to retain her title at WrestleMania against Becky. What do you got?
Yeah, I think you hit it You hit the nail right on the head. I think Bayley deserves it. I wasn't the biggest Bayley supporter until she actually turned face, and I see why she won the Rumble, even though I'm still a bit of a Liv Morgan truther to an extent. I would have, well, I'll touch on her in a second, but you see this, Bayley, has able to set herself up, and she's become very underrated in this locker room. Io Sky, I think you would agree with me, like many others. Her title reign has just been like what?
Yeah, it's been kind of
Not kind of, just very, very, very boring. She's defended the title like what, 3 times, 2 times in SummerSlam since she won.
Zelina, Minchin, Mia Yim.
In a fatal 4-way or triple threat, you're almost forgetting about it because that's how forgettable her reign has been. But here's an opportunity for Io because listen, we both agree she's talented in the ring. That's not like disputed. I think it's more of a booking issue at this point because we know Io can talk. Like she's not a terrible talker on the mic, but it's a way for her to get over with the fans, maybe I think. But in the end, I think Bayley will win. Now, here's where I disagree with you for this other match. Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch. Now, I agree with the winner. I don't think it's been built up very well, though. That's my opinion. Because, like, Becky Lynch, you just see on social media and in the internet, she's not very liked amongst social media. Apparently, everybody wanted Liv Morgan or Tiffany Stratton, even though it's a little early for her. I would have done Liv Morgan. I think the story makes more sense. I think it's better, like they'll put on a better quality of a match, even though I would have Rhea retaining regardless. But Becky Lynch, I haven't been the biggest fan of her since she came back, man. It's like she's gotten worse in the ring. The regression, you see it, it's there. She can't move around like she used to, and her promos are just they leave a lot to be desired.
Yeah, for sure.
Every Monday she comes out, yeah, I'm the man, yeah. Nobody cares if you're the man or the woman. You're a professional wrestler. Go in the ring, fight, cut a promo.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so everyone, we're going to cut to break real quick. We're going to hear what Wayne Hills TV Hall of Famer and alumni Thomas Emmerich has to say about these women matches at WrestleMania and his predictions. We'll be right back.
Well, I appreciate you having me on the show and letting me give my predictions for both WWE women's title matches at WrestleMania 40 this Saturday and this Sunday. So I'm going to start off with the women's title match that will be taking place on WrestleMania Saturday, which is for the WWE Women's World Championship. That is Mommy Rhea Ripley defending her title against the man, big time, Becky Lynch. And for this match, I really do see Rhea Ripley walking out still your WWE Women's World Champion, because let's all be honest here, Rhea Ripley, she's had a dominant run in the women's division as your WWE Women's World Champion after defeating Charlotte Flair last year at WrestleMania for the then SmackDown Women's Championship. She has just had some incredible matches as Women's World Champion, and I don't see her losing the title at WrestleMania 40 to Becky Lynch. And that's why I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley staying on top of the women's division and walking out still your WWE Women's World Champion. And then the next match I will move into, this match will be taking place on WrestleMania Sunday, and that is Io Sky defending her WWE Women's Championship against Bayley. Now this match is very hard to predict because Bayley, she has got Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill possibly in her corner just in case Damage Control gets involved, which is Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. So, a lot of factors could be played into this match, but in my heart, I want to see Bayley walk out as the new women's champion, but my final prediction for this match, it's going to be Io Sky walking out still your women's champion. And then maybe Bayley wins the women's championship at maybe SummerSlam or sometime further down the line if they have a rematch. But that is my predictions for both women's world title matches at WrestleMania 40. I hope you guys do enjoy WrestleMania 40 this weekend. And Noah, let's send it back to you in the studio. And thank you again to Chairshot Wrestling, Wayne Hills TV, and Noah Mueller for having me on the show. I really appreciate you guys having me give my predictions for WrestleMania. Enjoy the rest of the show, guys.
All right, finally.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Thomas, for those great opinions. But back to the show now. As our next matchup, we have the tag team main event of night one between Roman Reigns, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, facing off against Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. And in this match, I'm gonna be honest, we have good guys versus bad guys. I'm taking the bad guys, though. I think the Bloodline takes it. I think they make night two a lot more interesting for us fans.
They got to scare you for night two. Like, Bloodline rules is basically going to be anything goes. I think if Roman's title reign is going to end on Sunday, they have to make it in the most climactic way, Thanos endgame mode possible. Like, the most random of stuff that doesn't even make sense in the real world to just happen. Do it, and you actually have something that's going to, like, take you in for the next... You'll talk about it for the next century or however long WWE ever lasts forever. You have to, like... Cody's got to have backup, which we'll talk about the backups in a second, who they could be. Roman Reigns, obviously, is going to have the bloodline. They want to, like... The Rock hasn't competed in a real match in 11 years. And yes, the match against Eric Rowan doesn't count, guys. There's a reason why The Rock came back. He's made the storyline a whole lot more interesting. Now with Cody Rhodes, he's the megastar now. He's the face with Seth Rollins. There's got to be some animosity heading into the night, too. I think The Rock and Seth... Not The Rock and Seth Rollins. I think The Rock and Roman Reigns are going to get it done here tonight. Tonight on Saturday. There's, like... so much anticipation for this match. I noticed there's like, it's bigger than night two almost, if you really think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the biggest tag team match we've ever seen.
I'd say it's the biggest tag team match since Cena versus Michaels against Taker and Batista. That's the lengths I'm going to. That's how big of a match this is.
This is a huge match. This decides basically night two, which will decide the future of the WWE. And it's going to be a big match, but I think on night one, also going to be an interesting match. We're going to have more Bloodline. We're going to have Jimmy versus Jay in what I think they'll turn it into like a brotherly love street fight. But I have Jay picking up a big win here. He's been on a roll ever since going to Raw, becoming a main eventer. As Jimmy stated, though, Jimmy raised him. Jimmy is the big brother. I think it's going to be a great match. I think it's going to propel Jimmy to be bigger in the future. But I do have Jay winning.
We got to see some upsets here. Listen, every match can't be too predictable. That's why I'm actually going to take Jimmy Uso to win. I want to see him just become a bigger heel. They want him to, like, build up. Because you notice Jimmy, he's kind of like a clown in the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Before then, he was actually like a tough guy. Now he's just like, what are we doing? Like, he's trying to dap up Solo Sikoa and he don't even acknowledge him.
Yeah.
Pun very much intended. With Jimmy now, they want to make him to a bigger star for a singles competitor and get more heat on him. That way, I think if they fight at Backlash, it'll be different, and then Jay could win there. But I see Jimmy Uso winning here.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion is Jay wins, they make up, Usos get back together, but it could very well go your way as well. But moving on to yet another non-title match in the singles category.
Before we move on, I think Rikishi could get involved in that match too.
I think he could become a special guest ref or just make an appearance
with the big Bloodline striped referee shirt. Would love it.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. But we have LA Knight versus AJ Styles, and they've been building it up very well. I mean, the past couple weeks on SmackDown has been great. I mean, I have LA Knight here. I think they propel him to be a huge megastar, beat a guy like AJ Styles who's built a piece of the wrestling world in his career. And I think it's going to be a great match. I think the storytelling in the ring is going to be great. But LA Knight, I think, is going to propel and win.
I've been hearing rumors saying that AJ Styles could debut a new theme song, which I can understand it, but at the same time, I'll miss his current one. Regardless, AJ Styles hasn't won a WrestleMania match in, I think, quite a while now. It's got to be at least a few years at this point. But yeah, I think LA Knight is going to get it done tonight on night two, right?
It's either night one or night two. I don't know if they split the nights.
Well, there's 2 nights.
Yeah, I don't know if they split the nights up yet, though.
Regardless, I think LA Knight, he's due for the big win. He's been having this moment come for a while now. I'm so glad Triple H pushed him. I'm pretty straightforward. I'm going to take LA Knight to win.
Yeah. And back to the title matches. We have 2 world title matches that we have to review, and these will both be co-main events on night 2. But I think we know which one is the main event pretty easily. But we're going to go over the first one, which is listed as a co-main event. It's going to be Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight title. And I'm gonna be honest. I think Damian Priest gets involved here. I think he cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase finally. I think he tries to do what Seth did at WrestleMania 31, but I think McIntyre wins. I think he claymores them both, and I think he takes the title out.
Don't ruin McIntyre's moment, man. Let him have it. I do think McIntyre is going to win, but if Damian Priest... Oh, my goodness. Here's the thing. I don't think Priest is going to successfully cash in on, like, either champion. I could see him trying to come out on both nights. Imagine more animosity to that. He could come out on night 2 and interrupt him, which I'll probably touch on that in a second. For now, I'll stay on this. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Another match, another World Championship match between these two. I think there's precedence for this. They fought a lot of times in the past, and I think McIntyre finally gets the title in front of the big fan.
You know, he's been so close every time we've seen the match. And
bring back Broken Dreams while you're at it, too. Stop making us wait.
Yeah, I think the Scottish Warrior theme song is definitely overdue for a change.
It's gotten, it's a good song, but it doesn't fit him anymore.
Yeah, but I think Drew's moment finally arises as he's had 2 matches against Seth, not beat him. 3rd time's the charm. I think he takes it.
And don't forget, CM Punk is going to be at ringside for this match, too.
He will, so that's going to make things very, very interesting. But to our main event of night 2 and main event as a whole of WrestleMania, we're stacking up all the cards. It's Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns in the end game.
We're talking end game, baby.
We've built up the Avengers. And, you know, last year, obviously, Cody versus Roman. Roman ended up taking it in what was a breathtaking match. You know, I think...
one of the matches of the year, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But I think this time the odds are still stacked against Cody, but I think it's a little bit better for him because he has help now. But I'm going to be honest, I think for a minute the Bloodline completely overpower them. But I think we have 2 huge returns that will make this even for Cody. I think Cena comes in. He has nothing to do at WrestleMania. He takes out Jimmy and Solo. But you still got The Rock, right? So you see The Rock, ref out of the ring, Rock beating down on Cody Rhodes, and then you hear the glass break. Stone Cold comes out. I think this is what's going to even out the odds for Cody, and I think he's finally going to finish his story. I think he's finally going to win, and I think it's going to be the biggest moment we've seen in, I'd say the last 10 years.
Maybe 20 since Rock versus Steve Austin, I think, for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
Since Rock versus Cena once in a lifetime, but, this could go down as one of the most insane matches in the history of professional wrestling. I'm not talking just WWE. Professional wrestling, something that AEW probably will never, ever see. Now, for this, I think the guys who come out to help Cody think you're right. So he'd have John Cena and he'd have Stone Cold.
Yeah.
He's got to have somebody else, though. I feel like Jimmy's going to show up. You know he's going to show up.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jay shows up to help Cody, but I think my dream scenario, I had envisioned something like this for last year, even though, I guess they wanted to build us up for a rematch, which I understand. If Ted DiBiase wasn't, in court, I think the Legacy could have definitely reunited to help him out. That would have been epic, even arguably more epic than, what we would see now. But, hey, I'll take it. I don't think The Undertaker is going to show up in the middle of the match. He's got no relation to the Bloodline at all. So, no. I don't think, even though it would be epic, I think we do see Undertaker at some point during the show.
Yeah, I think they have something else planned.
Because he's at WrestleMania World. I know that.
Yeah. So.
But, yeah, I think we'll go down as a top 20 match in WWE history. Listen to me right here. Am I looking at the right camera? Yeah, I'm looking at the right camera. This will go down as one of the greatest matches of all time. Roman Reigns, I love you. You're my favorite wrestler right now. You are my tribal chief. I have acknowledged you for 4 years as my head of the table. But it's over for you this time because the American Nightmare is going to end your 1,300-day reign, and Cody Rhodes finishes his story.
I think you're 100% right there. I think he gets the title. But there's an alternate scenario to that can happen, and I've been thinking about it for a while, where somebody turns on him. And that could be Seth Rollins after he loses his world title match, or that could be the man we're about to talk about, who could debut, maybe. I don't think so, but maybe. Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Imagine if he came to help Cody win. Even if, he just comes. Imagine him just there's so many things now. Obviously, I don't want to get my hopes up because we know there's a good chance that probably doesn't happen. But I would love to see it, man. I'm such a big MJF fan. I think he'll be in WWE. I think he should come to WWE. But now, like, I think that Cody wins. I do think we see Damian Priest, even if he fails to cash in. I think he'll fail to cash in on night 1. He'll somehow keep the briefcase, and then he'll try to cash in on night 2. They got to add animosity. They got to give you heart attacks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do.
But, yeah, with that being said, I think one of the most epic WrestleManias of all time ends with the American Nightmare accomplishing the American Dream.
I think that's going to be it. But that'll be all for us this week on Chairshot Wrestling. Don't worry, though. We'll be back next week recapping what happened at this amazing event, WrestleMania, and purely that. As always, thanks for watching. We'd like to thank Rocco for coming up on set with me one last time. There will be more in the future, probably.
For sure.
But for now,
yeah.
As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Chairshot Wrestling.